Alrighty, folks, welcome to Yates Computers Tips and Reviews. I'm even stumbling today on doing simple stuff. Want to thank everybody going on 3 years of videos. Make sure you head on over and subscribe. Want everybody to stop what they're doing now. Head over, subscribe to the channel, come on back, watch the video. I know this is something I've brought up a lot, is wireless technology, keyboards, mouse, and I got this product and I wanted to go through this kind of a product because I don't believe I've really touched base on this kind of a product a lot. I mentioned wireless keyboards, wireless mice, how they're different designs and different stuff. I got this at a thrift store and I went, you know what, this is perfect for the video because this may not be something a lot of people realize is a major factor. Now, I'm sure you're looking at this and you're going, what in the world? Why? If you don't know the differences between keyboards and how they're laid out, this can really help you out in a lot of different ways. They've engineered this keyboard so your wrists sit a certain way so you don't supposedly get carpal tunnel, you supposedly don't hurt your wrists, and it's supposedly supposed to help you type faster by splitting the keyboard. There are some that are split a little bit differently. They're all different kind of layouts. This is a different kind of a layout than I've kind of seen where these buttons in the middle are different. A lot of them, it's just empty here. Thought that was kind of cool because they actually filled the space and it's not wasted. Plus, it's got your wrist guards. So, this is more of a video, I would say, for home users, but not necessarily. Business users and other stuff might be interested in being aware of this. Because if you order a wireless keyboard, odds are it's just going to be a standard keyboard design kind of like this. Now again, there's LED lighting, backlighting, front lighting. If it lights up so you can see the keys, there's all these other little factors that come into play. And this is your standard layout. Now there are gaming keyboards where keys are different. This one is kind of a different style keyboard. I never even noticed it till now. It's here. This is not a standard key position. There's the standard key positions. So even on a keyboard like this, it has a different layout. If you use that key a lot and it's not there on that keyboard and is in a different place, well, you might have a few issues. So there's a prime example of the differences on even a standard layout keyboard. For what I'm doing, I never use that key in this computer anyway, so I didn't notice until now when I closely looked. But that's not why I bought it. I went through that video, I bought it because it lights up all underneath and it will look pretty when I turn it on. That's the whole reason I bought it, just so it looks nice and gives you some accent lighting in the back when I turn it on for videos. But this is a different factor. Because this is a very interesting thing that I saw that wanted to elaborate more on. This is something I'm really not seeing too much of. Don't really know why you would want this. Maybe to down tilt the keyboard. It's on the front. Maybe to get your wrists up off the desk. I kind of thought that was interesting. Usually they have just the backs. So this is why I'm doing this little video. And again, this is why it's kind of a rabbit hole. Because I've already shown you one variable I found on the keyboard I'm using. I didn't really realize the different variables on this. The wrist guard. Just having play buttons and stuff here, where a lot of them don't have those kind of features in them. They might be up here in the top, or they might be somewhere else. A lot of them will have space bars that are empty. This one looks pretty nice that it has the two different buttons. Haven't really used it to tell if there's a difference between them or any of that. But you have a lot of nice features on here. The other thing I see, yeah, they're down here, I think. And there are keys that are not on this keyboard. I see delete. These keys. You would have to find where those locations are. I don't see them. I see delete. I don't see end and all of that on this keyboard. So these are some of those weird variables that you have with keyboards, with the different layouts of keyboards. So if you need certain keys, you may not be able to use this kind of keyboard. So knowing those slight differences, knowing a wrist guard, knowing split keys, not split keys, standard layout, not standard layout, something with just an alternate key layout like that might end up causing you issues. I know some of the keyboards at work are gaming keyboards that are similar to this one, that have some button keys that are in different places and some things that are different. And they can really mess me up when I try to log in, because I go to hit a certain key, it's not there, something's different. And I have to stop, pay attention to what I'm doing, figure out where everything is. I have to slow down to do it. It's not really that big of a problem for the workstation or whoever's using it, because they're not using those kind of keys, and it might not be a big deal. But when you come to administrative privileges and other things, you might want to look at a little closer what's on that keyboard. The user might be perfectly fine with it, but you as an admin or someone who needs to do certain functions, backups, and other things, you might need some of those keys. Might not be able to use some hotkeys and some other things because the certain keys aren't there. Might be able to change them in the system, or you just do it you find another way to do it, a slower back way to do it. Almost everything can be done multiple ways. So this is why I wanted to elaborate a little on this. This is just a little short video, and I wanted to show you the difference, because I have not had a split key keyboard here. This was the first one. I just bought it because it was a USB keyboard at a thrift store, cheap, and I went, oh, you know what? This is split key. I need to do a video on a split key keyboard so people understand what a split key keyboard is. Then it has the wrist guard, and it's USB with the dongle, power switch. And then I see they have these weird little feet in the front. Maybe you could do this and lift the whole keyboard up off the desk completely. I don't know what the front ones are for. I would have to research that. I'm assuming it's so you could tilt it down so your wrists can be downwards instead of upwards. Don't know much about if that helps or not. Maybe it's a feature you really like or want. Guess what? it seems to be available. So this is why I kind of did the video, is to let people know, hey, this is available. Other thing I've seen and other reviewers have mentioned about this kind of keyboard is the one weird factor is it's not changeable batteries. Is that a good thing or a bad thing for you? This actually has a USB port that you plug in to charge the keyboard. Well, I'm kind of mixed on that, but it could save you money on batteries. You're not spending a bunch of batteries. So there's another oddball situation here that you probably won't see too much. How much this keyboard is, I don't know. I have not looked it up. I got it, and this is kind of cool. I see the store that it came from. It's from a store that probably sells this for a very expensive price. So, wanted to elaborate on some of the key main differences that I've seen. I've seen reviews on these type of keyboards, and people, that's kind of weird because you're wireless and then you're still plugging it in, so it's still wired. I believe you can run that USB in and still use this as a wired keyboard. So it's kind of a weird situation. It's kind of a weird intermediate thing. And of course, that's why it's in the rabbit hole year. Because it's a huge variable. You can do a lot of different things with a lot of different products and a lot of different stuff. And what's weird is usually nowadays when you buy a keyboard, you get a keyboard and mouse combo. So with this, you would have to get another mouse. I got them up here in the box. Get a mouse with another dongle, so you'd have two dongles. If you get a combo kit, you have one dongle, that's this thing here, that runs the keyboard and mouse. I have some questionable thoughts on that, on latency and all of that, because you actually have two devices running off of one physical piece. It might not be that big of a deal. I haven't had too many complaints about it, but if you're a gamer or something of that sort, you might want to actually split your devices. You might want to have something with a lower latency. They have gaming mice that have a lower latency and that type of stuff. So that should pretty much wrap this up, because this was really kind of an interesting one. When I started looking at it, I went, wow, okay, this is kind of weird. This is not a standard USB keyboard. This is not a standard wireless. This is not standard in a lot of ways. This doesn't take batteries. This has like a rechargeable battery in it. So you have a lot of variables there. The little front stands. Maybe you're interested in some of these subjects, but you don't want the fixed battery. Maybe you want to change your batteries. So this is an area that you might want to research and do some homework and figure out, is there a product out there that will work for you? Because now you see there's a product here that has a lot of these features in it that maybe you want a fixed battery. You don't want people playing with the batteries. You don't want to go through 100 batteries because someone's just changing them all the time because they think they need to change it. And your business goes through battery after battery after battery after battery after battery. That's a cost to you. Maybe you want a wired keyboard that you can actually go wireless with when you need it in a home environment. Like this. If I have a wired keyboard and I'm on one of these TVs and I need to move further away, I can actually unplug that keyboard and stuff and move where I need to and not worry about it. There's a lot of variables here that you can do with a product. So this is why it's in the rabbit hole year. And again, this is the 3rd year of me doing my channel. Head on over, hit subscribe. I think I'm going to wrap this one up, end it like this. So now you can see a variable of maybe something you might want to research and find out. Do you want some of these products in something you have? Alrighty, thank you so much.